Hello, all, and welcome. We are in Zandvoort, in the Netherlands, and we are coming to you with a race from Formula Racing League, Season 3. I am Chaos. I'm going to be your caster tonight, and we have got a nice full lobby right now. We've got lining up for us tonight Raro, Fiji Domo, racing as Merc W11, our championship leader Flex and Taylor Funk, Red Baron, RFX Rafa, Get Dunked, Balzac, Sheer Insanity, X-Max, Luke Brax, T Goldie, Camborn, Nameless Nate Prestige, Sanity, and Lord Raptor. A little bit of a crowd, but I think it's going to be quite fun. A little bit of a moment there. Just making sure I enable my push talk so that I'm not picking up all the little clicking noises that my system loves to make. So today we've got Lord Raptor and Get Dunked, who will be running in the Ferrari. And it looks like Get Dunked is going to be the very first to go out on the lap, so we're going to follow him as he sets out for a lap of the Zandvoort circuit. So we're here along the coastal dunes of Holland, and it is Holland proper. Comes in through Tarzanbocht, makes his way around through, and then we come up to this tricky level 1. This is Gerlach and then Hugenholtz. Fernando Alonso loved taking a high line through there, but a lot of lines you can take for that very high banking. And then we come along here. It's almost a straight, but it is a twisting straight as you've ever been over Hunzelroof and Borgslodemakkerbos and to Chevlac. Oh, and then up ahead. Oh no! Fiji's right in the way. Get Dunked is going to be a little irritated, but he comes around, follows through as he ran into some traffic at the Masterbo. Now, hopefully, is Bravo and Prestige going to be able to get out of the way as Get Dunked is just running into traffic left, right, and center as he makes his way around through the back straight up towards the Audi S's. Bravo is kind of in the way of this hot lap here. Hopefully, he'll be able to get out of the way soon. Around through Kummelbach. And the final corner, Ari Luendijk, as he makes his way around. It's a short lap around here, but you know, it's a small lap for a tiny little country. I say this is a Canadian, so everyone but Russia is a tiny little country. Alright, well, might as well pass off the baton to Raro as he now takes it around and is going to be setting his first hot lap. He is out on the soft tires right now. So this is actually the 13th race of our season. We're now more than halfway through. And once we're finished with this lap, we'll take a moment to discuss how things have been developing in the championship. But there's some news for those of you who just follow the videos. After some deliberations, it has been the opinion of the mass of the racers that we are to take the race results from Belgium the lap before the safety car, as the safety car kind of spoiled everything by getting very confused and disqualifying the race leader and sending drivers flying this way and that. So ultimately, the results of the previous race, as Robert comes through and sets the time of 1:12.336, the results from the last race in Belgium were Flex wins the race. Second place goes, just a moment, to Taylor Funk, Camborn P3, Raro P4, followed by Luke Brax, Ian Brax, Get Dunked, Dubman, Balzac, and T Goldie. Alright, T Goldie, incidentally, is going to be our next driver to start a hot lap as he comes through Ari Lundijk onto the start-finish straight. Little message from Kenny. It's possible that we might be getting a LaFleur here tonight. Lots of confidence to carry high speed through that corner as he comes around into the master ball. Nameless Snake getting nicely out of the way as T Goldie now makes his way in through this tight little section. That's Renault and Vodafone. I can only imagine these are very much sponsor-named corners. Don't like them quite as much as Tarzan and Ari Lundijk, but there we go. Coming up into the Audi S's. And around through this, the slowest bit of the track, and now just get that power on. The car is skittish at the back as he brings it around to the very back, and here we go. It's the final banking as he makes his way around the back of the dune, out of Ari Lundijk, and here we go. T Goldie setting his very first lap. Looks like it's a pretty good one. That's going to be a 1:12.327, which is just going to put him ahead of Rauer, who we watched just a moment ago. We've got a couple of other drivers making their way through. So I think we just lost Santi. Don't worry about Noob Puncher, by the way, that's Kenny LaFleur.
What happened?
Oh, I said don't worry about Noob Puncher, that's Kenny LaFleur.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I
Yeah, I didn't
just
invite him
noticed
because I didn't recognize that name.
Yeah, that's Kenny.
Got it.
Alright, we have been joined by Kenny LaFleur. Hopefully he is able to get a car set up. But we're on board with Prestige. Prestige has had some very, very strong performances lately, but they have not turned into points, which has got to be terribly frustrating for him. So a lot of eyes will be on Prestige to see if he can deliver on all of the pace that he's been showing these last couple of races. Right now, we've got a Mercedes lockout of the front row, as RFX Rafa has a 111.4, just ahead of the 111.5 of Sheer Insanity. Prestige making his way down nice and low and then swinging up high out of Ari Lundijk. And he's got a fairly nice opening up ahead. Nice and slowed down for Tarzan, and then getting the power on for Gerlach. And then into the very, very deep banking. Takes a middle line, and then gets the power down. Full acceleration as he makes his way along this long, twisting section. It's all flat, but there's not much opportunity to go side by side. And now we make our way around through the back of the course. He is coming up behind that Alpine. Hopefully it either stays far enough ahead or gets out of the way as he makes his way through this Sector 2. Into the Audi S. Taylor Funk gets out of the way, possibly to the damage of his car. Oh, and Prestige oh, is that lap's disallowed because of that little bump on the edge there, and he immediately aborts it. And that's the lap done for him. And Taylor Funk, I think, did he take some damage there, or was he on an out lap? No, I think that wasn't. Oh. Well, I'm not certain. All right, Fiji coming out on his first lap, and there we go. We can see that Noob Puncher, which is to say Kenny LaFleur, is here, ready to race. So Fiji, another guy who, like Prestige, has been showing some really, really nice performances that often haven't been rewarded well with race points. However, he certainly has been putting on some memorable performances, but I think I speak for all of us when we would love to see him getting some big results. Or even just getting some consistent... Oh! Look at me, I'm just cursing him. I'm sorry, Fiji, my friend. Alright. Cutting an aggressive lineman right there. And hello, I am also now in the chat, so I've got the chat open on my phone, so if anyone has said anything thus far, I'm sorry I missed it, but we'll be able to pick that up. Raro looks like he is heading out for a lap right now. Oh, pardon me, that was Red Baron. Why don't we go to... I think, is that Luke Brax? Yes. Here we go. You know what, actually, looking at fuel, that is definitely an in-lap. So we've got a bit of a quiet moment here as everyone is just shaping things up. Prestige coming out, hoping to improve on his 1:12.3. Currently, pole is Rafa, who now has a 1:10.889. Through Ari Lewandijk and down the main straight. Here we come. Gutsy braking for Tarzan. Nice and late. Keeps it close to the apex. And then gets the power down. A little swish to the left. A little swish to the right. And then down, dropping into Hugenholtz. And then the Hunselroof. Just a little ridge, they call it. That little bump there. And then here we go. High speed. Lots of trust. If you go wide, you're going to be taking a ride straight to the beach. And then making his way through these relatively higher speed corners, but they're all so blind as you come through them. It's a challenging course, Zandvoort, but these guys are showing that they've been putting in some work here. Making his way down the back straight and coming in towards the Audi S. The shorts are all so very straight here. Did I say the shorts are so straight? I should mean to say that the straights are so short, but you get my meaning well. Up through Kumobo, and now into the final corner. Start low, finish high, and Prestige making his way down towards the line. It looks like it's going to be good for top 5. It's 4th position for Prestige. That's a 1:11.679, just a little bit off of sheer insanity, who is currently sitting at a 1:11.5. Right now, looking at who's out of position, I would say it is Flex, but we are right here joining him on a hot lap. He's got a purple sector coming through. And the question is, has Rafa put enough of a line in the Zand for Flex to not be able to step in front of it? So he loads up the car, full juice as he makes his way down. And Flex is able to snatch pole by 1/10.5. Look at that. Well, talk about your lines in the Zand. So we have lost X-Max and we have lost Santi thus far. Both of whom are new racers to the league, so they'll be... Well, Santi actually did get a fairly nice banker lap in for the start. Taylor Funk, he's got his best lap on the mediums, and right now he'd like to follow up his season best result. Taylor Funk, another one of these guys who's shown a lot of promise, but didn't get his big result until Belgium. He's definitely one of the people who turned out well from the discarding of the end of that race that was very badly affected by safety car bugs. But yes, no sense in qualifying outside of the top 10 on the medium, as I say. So he makes his way through Kummelbach. And once again, this time taking a higher line. That might cost him a few tenths. But T-Funk makes his way through and comes 10th with a 1:12.1. We're getting low in the qualifying timer now. Not many more opportunities for any of these drivers. Let's have a look at who's out right now. We've got Luke Brax, who's just starting a lap right now. We've got Sheer Insanity, who's partway through. Red Baron also on the out lap. I think Luke Brax is the guy we'd like to be on board with right now. We've got a, oh, is that? That's Kenny. And he seems that he has had a bit of a moment there, but he's kept his car intact, and fortunately he's able to get back onto the track with no one any the wiser. Also noticed that he's racing in the Max Verstappen helmet today. Classy. Gonna get that local support. Rafa gets out of the way for Sheer as Sheer makes his way through. But we're going to go with Luke Brax for the moment. See what he's able to do here as he comes around, just finishing off the second sector. Into the Audi S. There's a car off ahead. Hopefully this doesn't cause a problem because he's got a... Oh! It does cause a problem! Luke Brax completely loses it there and we move on to Sheer Insanity. Yellow flags up ahead. Sheer? I'm not certain about what kind of lap he's on right now. I saw some green, so that was looking a little bit promising. Goodness, yellow flags all about here, but Sheer Insanity is not running into any problems as he makes his way through. 106, 7, 8. This is a good lap. Sheer Insanity improves ahead of Luke Brax. He's at a 1:10.962. And now we've got very little time left in this qualifying. Let's have a look at where things are. RFX Rafa is just starting a lap. Sheer has just finished one of his. Luke Brax is trying to go out for another lap. Does he have the fuel for this? I'm not certain. Red Baron himself out on a hot lap. Let's see, who isn't? Prestige also on, and I'd like to stick with Prestige, but let's also follow some of the drivers that we haven't had a chance to look at just yet. Right now, one guy who is definitely... Oh, we've just lost Flex! Well, Flex went out, pushing to see if he could put his lead even further ahead. A little bit of a jockeying for position here, I think, between Rafa and Luke Brax. But it looks like Sheer is going to be coming in. Unless he's perhaps going to try and set one more lap. Does sort of... No, he's backing out of this. So now, we've got Rafa, who is making a shot. This is for an attempt to take pole position here. Down tight through Tarzanbocht. Nice traction right there as he makes his way through Gerlach and down into Hugenholz. Around very low line. And now... Long through Hunsrud and Slovakia Bocht. What's up to my Dutch friends? I'm doing my best with your wonderful language. I'm told by the Dutch that I can't even pronounce my own last name though, so you know, we'll see how it goes. Through Renault and towards Vodafone, and then going to make our way around the back straight, but it's not a very long straight. Rafa is just hauling as he makes his way down here. He is looking low on fuel. He is looking low on deploy right now as he comes into the Audi S's, making his way around, trying to get the acceleration without any loss of traction. Whoop. And it looks good. Now the line, let's see. It's the low entry, high exit that we've seen from so many. Here we go. What can Rafa do? He cannot improve on it. There's not going to be an improvement on that time. And is there anyone else who can possibly push faster? No, there isn't. So that's your grid, ladies and gentlemen. Flex crashes out, but still takes pole. RFX Rafa P2, Sheer Insanity P3, followed by Luke Brax. Red Baron with an excellent qualifying performance. I barely looked at him at all, but look at that. He has put his Aston Martin into 5th position. Rawrcopter P6, just a 10th, not even that, off of his teammate ahead of Prestige in P7. Lord Raptor P8, Taylor Funk P9, and Camborne. And we've got outside of the top 10 with 3 choice of fuel. pardon me, of tires. We've got T Goldie, we've got Fiji Doma, Santi, Nameless, Nate, Balza, Kenny LaFleur, and Get Dunked, with X-Max being one driver who was not able to set a lap time. Alright. Hang on. Pardon me. Did Rafa have one more lap? That doesn't seem right. Whoa. Huh. We're getting calls from the peanut gallery for Merc to retire. Well, once again, Codemasters showing that they've done their homework. And by done their homework, I mean pretended that they did their homework and then got their brother to do it, and then he didn't do it either. So the cars are just kind of continuing to cruise around with no fuel. Yeah, somehow Kenny is starting a... There we go, there we go. Okay, so apparently, with Kenny joining late, it added extra session time? Alright, so that is Flex, Rafa, Sheer Insanity, Luke Brax, Red Baron, Raro, Prestige, Lord Raptor, Taylor Funk, and Camborn making up the top 10. T Goldie is going to be the very first driver with the opportunity to have a free choice of tires. Alright, and that is qualifying for you as we come here to our 13th race of the season. Netherlands, and championship standings. Let's take a moment to talk about it. Flex is currently leading with 179 points. He had a bit of a rough stretch, but some good fortune came his way. Camborn is currently running P2 in the championship. He is 45 points back on Flex with 134. Kenny LaFleur, who has not scored points for the last 3 races due to non-appearance, is here for the first time, so we're going to see if he can get his championship charge back on track. Raro has been here. He's only got 2 podiums. Very chivalrously, I think, arguing that the results of the last race should be taken before the safety car, in spite of the fact that that cost him a podium at Belgium, but nonetheless, he has 110 points, followed by Rafa with 106, Luke Brax with 99, El Sucio Dan with 97, but Dan is not here tonight, and then a little drop back to Balzac and Prestige, who have been having a bit of a battle. Prestige has more high results, but he hasn't scored points for the last 5 races. France, Austria, Britain, Hungary, Belgium, empty. So he's desperately going to want to get back onto the board and start pulling himself up towards the front runners where he knows he could be. But if you want to talk about someone else with the same story, Sheer Insanity, one of the fastest looking drivers. He was really competing for race wins early on, but he has just had a very rough season and only has 46 points to show for it. But of his finishes, 2 of them are second place. So we know that Sheer can do a lot. Yeah, I think the ultimate cause of that, Ronnie, was that Kenny joined late because he seemed to still be doing outlaps, as if it added time for a late joiner. So we're waiting for players, and I'll see if I can get Brother John in. All right, here we go. We are headed to track. So there's going to be one warm-up lap, and then we are going to be setting out on this Dutch Grand Prix. Drivers making their way out onto the grid, and we have got Flex leading Rafa with sheer insanity P3. "18 drivers starting this race, and the last of them just pulling off the grid right now, as we have X-Max get dunked. Kenny LaFleur. Oh, whoa, that was a get dunked a little bit out of position there for a moment. Balzac, Nameless Nate, Santi, Fiji Dummo, T Goldie, Cambor, and then Taylor Funk, Lord Raptor, Prestige, following Raro and Red Baron, Luke Braxton his Alpine, sheer insanity in Mercedes, Rafa also from Mercedes, looking for a big result. He's got 2 wins and 2 seconds this season. Can he put another win onto that pile? And Flex, the dominant performer of this season. He has only finished off of the podium 3 times, and he has 5 wins. Every single win but one has had a fastest lap attached to it. Rafa just firing on past Flex there. Not entirely sure what was going on with that. Rafa, my man, what is happening here? So, that's a little strange. But I suppose that'll get sorted out soon enough. It'll all come out in the wash. So Flex will be on pole, followed by Sheer. And we watch the grid slowly snake its way in. There we go, McLaren, Alpha, McLaren, Ferrari, Red Bull, Alpine. And that's the grid. All right. Here we are. It's the start of the race. Flex leads Rafa. Lights are out, and here we go. The drivers are on the way. Oh dear, that was a big moment there. We've got a big pile up on the back. Lord Raptor's already out. There's a big collection of cars. Prestige is out. of the race. T Goldie, 5-second penalty for a huge collision, but in the lead, we still have Flex leading this. There's a safety car out already. Well, there's our first of 6, apparently. Right, well, Flex leads the race. Rafa, second. Sheer Insanity. Rauro up a position because that was, unfortunately, that was Red Baron. Where's Red Baron gone? He's in 11th place right now. So Bravo's up 2, Luke down 1, Cam 4 places at the start, Fiji also a very, very strong start, although he did get a warning for something that happened there. We're looking at one-stop strategies here. Not a huge amount of wear on this circuit. T Goldie up 3 positions. Balzac also interesting. Possibly overtook his teammate there. I'm not certain, but strangeness of strangeness. Alright, well, Red Baron, let's see. Did he take damage there? Is he going to need to make an early pit stop? We'll see as we go on board with him if he is going to aim his way towards the pits, but Red Baron and Taylor Funk, 2 of the big losers from that, but no one had worse than Prestige and Lord Raptor. Alright, there we go. T Goldie's into the pits, Red Baron also into the pits. So we have Nameless Nate, who is the first of that little group who's not going to be coming up, and the leader is coming up on the safety car. So, Flex catches the safety car. We are praying that whatever happened last time does not happen this time. So, of the leaders of this race, no one changed positions. Rauro managed to get a little bit of an advantage on his teammate, Red Baron. But with the safety car, Red Baron has only lost positions. He hasn't lost an immense amount of time. Taylor Funk just making his way out of the pits right now. And he hits out just at the exit of Tarzan. And we will follow him as he races back. Actually, you know what? I think the thing to look at right now is going to be T Goldie, just 1 position ahead. So this is going to let everyone save their tires just a little bit more. All marker boards gone on turn 1, calls Balzac. Yeah, that is indeed an oof. I'm pretty impressed with Balzac just typing to everyone while he's in the race. So I think we're going to get one more lap under the safety car, as Taylor Funk has not yet caught up. So Flex leads Rafa, Sheer, Rauro, and Luke Rags. Not a lot of movement up at the very top 5. Oh, what's this? Is Cam hitting? Nope, just a little bit of jockeying here. So ultimately, everyone from 6th down made positions up, but it's entirely at the expense of the first lap pit stops and the first lap retirements. So really, there haven't been a huge number of swaps of position beyond the fact that Get Dunked was able to get a very, very nice start there, and X-Max has been able to push his way up from dead last to 13th.
What's up, Chaos?
Hey, Prestige.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
sorry, man. That's unfortunate. You just kind of...
I got sandwiched.
Yeah, there's not much you can do beyond, like, jam on the brakes a second ago.
Well, even if I had done that, I knew there was going to be people in behind me.
Yeah.
I might have had a little bit of space to stay left. Honestly, when Red hit the wall, I thought he was going to bounce out into the track.
Yeah, it looks like he just had he overspun his rears a little bit and then had the kick out. It happens so easily.
Yeah, I actually was worried it was going to happen to me, and so I was kind of easy on the throttle to start. And,
yeah, it's a nice time to kind of short shift those starts just a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's actually what I did to keep from having the problem. But I figured I'd hop over here and broadcast with you.
Well, hey, it's good to have you, Prestige, and I'm sorry that you're not able to break your duck that's been going on this last couple of races.
Gosh.
You've just been having such good I was describing it. You've had such good performance everywhere except in the points.
Yes.
because you've been showing great pace, you've been leading races, you've been getting poles, and just, you know, nothing to show for it. It's got to be frustrating, but we're seeing the start of the race, and Flex gets a huge jump on Rafa at the restart. Just catches him napping. And as a matter of fact, it looks like Rower's even having a little bit of a look into here, but it seems the positions are all held through this point, although Luke Brax is seeing if he can make a little bit of a move up the inside here. He's really tight on this group, and just behind, we've got Fiji all over the back of Camborne. You know that Fiji is going to bring the entertainment, if nothing else. Whoa, speaking of which, the coach just has a moment.
Big snap of overspear.
And Santi now having a bit of a moment. Santi, of course, filling in for brother John, who arrived just seconds late to be able to join in. But it's good to see that we've got both of the Papayas racing today.
New puncher is Kenny, correct?
That's correct, yeah. New puncher is Kenny LaFleur, and he was just able to make his way through on Get Dunk. Taylor Funk is through also on T Goldie, and Red Baron having a little bit of a battle with T Goldie as they're going a little bit side by side laterally through here as they make their way through the Vodafone corner. And now onto the back straight, and they're side by side, but I think Red Baron might have the advantageous line here, and yeah, he's able to hold it, but he's got the hard tires, and he cuts off T Goldie. There's not going to be a way through there for T Goldie. Fastest lap for Flex is he's gotten a monster start here, and he's just stretched out the front, and look at that, it's been one lap, and already big gaps are forming here, as the track is proving that it's not easy to follow close here. It really strings out the drivers. So you really have to have some kind of advantage or force your opponent into some kind of mistake to make an easy pass here. But I think Prestige should probably agree there's no easy passes at Zandvoort.
That's why I was actually pushing as hard as I could in quali. And I don't know if you saw, I invalidated twice.
Yeah, I was watching one of your laps as you invalidated late on.
Yes, I was on medium. I would have started on medium tires too. Very upset about it, but you know it would have been a big advantage. But yeah, we got Luke Brax on
Kenny
on
and Nate
Raro.
as well.
Yep.
Here we go, and Kenny is just right up the inside of Nameless Nate. Holy moly! Look at the difference in the acceleration they had there. Just Kenny was able to get the power on so early compared to Nate, who was being quite cautious. Oh, we've got wide. We've got Rauro running wide, and Luke Brax and Camborne are through on Rauro Copter. He had a little bit of a moment coming into Eri Ludwigbo. And yes, I have been working on my Dutch pronunciation, and yes, I apologize.
Yeah, no, actually really good Dutch. Yeah, actually just the air the team laundry. I know Nate, now that I'm out, is definitely trying to just keep the car intact, get a points finish if he can. But we've kind of had a string of DNFs, so he might let a couple guys go by. But he started on medium tires on purpose, and I think he'll be able to hold his own with the medium runners behind him.
And, oh, we've got some aggression here. Kenny is charging on Balzac, and he goes up on the inside through the Renault corner. And now Balzac's going to hold the inside, but Kenny is trying to push it around the outside as he takes the wide line into Vodafone. And now he holds it. Now they're going to come up towards the Audi S. And what is going to happen here? He's got the inside line, and Kenny is clearly through. Well, here's one guy who is way out of position on his pace, but that's the case so often with Kenny. It's almost as if he likes qualifying very low so that he can have a fight.
Yeah, on my screen, he doesn't have a helmet, so there's definitely a weight issue going on that's making him faster.
Oh, and on my screen, he's wearing Max Verstappen's helmet. I figured it was just, you know, shamelessly pandering to the local Dutch.
Yeah, and Fiji is quietly just chilling in 7th place, doing a good job staying with Roro, and
it's the classic Fiji. Fiji has the hero and zero thing. He will just put on really great shows, and then he'll have moments. He is a guy who is always pushing just a little bit past what he's comfortable doing, I think. Hence why he'll sometimes lose it, but he's got so much talent, and he's been developing so well recently.
He's the highest medium runner at the moment.
Oh, that's a good point. Yes, I'll bring up the tires right now, as it's probably worth shifting away from starting position change to tire strategy. And yeah, that is significant. he's going to be able to run longer than these guys. Of course, we are expecting safety cars here. We had a couple of people jocularly saying, oh, 6 safety cars. Well, we only need 5 more for that. But I'm definitely not hoping for it. I would like to see a good number of these cars finish the race. Oh, Fiji gets close to Raro, and just ahead, we also had some close moments there. And Luke Brax and Camborne neck and neck as the Alpine is just leaving the AlphaTauri. So, oh, we've just got a red, and that's Nate. Ah, that's Nate, your boy.
Oh no!
But I think his car's intact.
Yeah.
His wings intact. So things are okay. Things are okay. It's just time.
Yep.
And Taylor Funk right on the back of Get Dunk is the Dunk Funk battle that we love so much. But I think I've joked before, the thing to do if you don't know what to do with commentary is just put it on Fiji and then don't press any buttons. Because no matter what, he will have a fight going on around him. Because right now, he's really, really pushing Raro. Despite Raro being on the softs, Fiji is bringing the fight to him, but Santi and Kenny LaFleur are also on the softs right behind him and pushing hard, so right now it's eat or be eaten in this battle for 6th place, and the DRS is open. Yellow flag out in Sector 1 as T. Goldie has had a crash, but hopefully is able to keep his car going, as up the inside, Fiji Dumo takes it, and now this is going to open things up. Rowercopter now has a couple of guys behind him, Santi right behind Kenny LaFleur as they make their way through Hugenholtz. How's that pronunciation?
Yeah. And while all that was happening, Camborne got a move done on Luke Brax.
Well, they've been trading positions a little bit up there. With the DRS, just one gets the advantage, then the next.
Yep. Lap after lap.
Yeah, just trading it back and forth between each other. But this fight isn't getting any further away because Raro right now looks like he is on the back foot. Kenny LaFleur is now ahead of Santi, and now Kenny is going to be looking to see if he can make a move on Raro. Raro has DRS, but Kenny, does he even care? Well, he cares just enough to not try and make a move into the Audi S.
Yeah, now is right when the soft tire is going to start falling off.
Yeah, and this is where
mediums are going to shine.
Yeah, and this is where Fiji is going to be really grinning. Also, I'd like to note, Flex isn't actually pulling out that far. Oh, Fiji goes tight onto the inside. Raro is going to go around the outside into Tarzan. I'm not going to do the shout, but he is swinging from a rope right there as he makes it around the outside of Fiji Domo and retakes 6th position. And now Kenny is going to be licking his shots into Hugenholtz, seeing if he can get a different line, but Fiji holds the middle and you can't go on the inside of that. Meanwhile, Santi is right off the back of this group, and also X-Max right on the back of Balzac, so there's a lot going on, and the fights broke up a little bit at the end of the first lap after the safety car. But now they're starting to come back together. Oh, Kenny he took a look at Fiji. And now
and Santi off. He's going to get dropped, and he's going to fall back to the second group of 4 here. I was going to say it's really interesting. We had 2 groups of 4 running, but now we got a group of 3 and a group of 5 kind of running together.
Yeah, and I think of the 2, the first group is definitely a lot closer right now. I think Fiji's going to get a run on Raro here, but it all relies on him getting a good line out of Ari Lundeklo. Alright, here we go.
Chaos.
Let's see what happens.
I'm not even going to attempt the Dutch names.
Well, you see, I have a funny thing where my surname is Dutch, but it is not my native language. When I met actual people from the Netherlands, they were horrified at how I pronounced my name.
X-Max and Balzac with a great little battle.
Yeah, right through Hugenholtz. And there's a yellow flag there as we have had Red Baron take a little bit of a spin. It's a very loaded corner. And now Nate and Red Baron are coming back together here as that fight is continuing. But I think we can't look away. Look at this. Oh, Kenny LaFleur around the outside. He's going to try and push it, but Fiji says, no, that's my line, sir. Kenny LaFleur continuing to make his way through. We've got another yellow as Red Baron, again, just needs to get his tires cooled down. Often that happens with Red Baron. his accidents come in sort of 2s and 3s because he'll overheat the tires and then immediately try to reclaim the time he's lost. So this fight continues to be led by Rarocopter, but how long is he going to be able to keep those softs going? Fiji Dumbo's relative advantage on the mediums is only going to get larger lap by lap by lap. And here they come. Kenny might even try and make a lunge up the inside. There we go. And Fiji is holding the outside line. They are lateral as they make their way through. And Fiji is able to chop off the nose of Kenny. Fortunately with no contact there. But Kenny around the upper side of Hugenholtz. They're going side by side, but that is not quite enough space, but it's very hard to leave space through this curving section. It's not quite a straight, it's not quite a corner, it's Hunsleruch. And that is some battling going on right there between Fiji and Kenny LaFleur. Further back, there is still battling, but this really has to be the place. Red Baron pitting, by the way, for fresh mediums as he is going to hope for a safety car to get him back into this group. And looking at the way these guys have been dicing, I wouldn't be surprised for something bad to happen. But at the same time, you really want them to keep it clean. Just keep that race going.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive to see these soft runners staying with it. I haven't really seen much of a delta between Fiji and the rest of them, and they're still not pitting. Now, we did have, 2 or 3 laps under safety car to start, so that makes sense.
X-Max making a move on Santi up the inside into Tarzan. And now X-Max takes 9th from Santi. I think I see Nameless Nate travel. He was traveling a little bit slowly there. I think he had a bit of a moment, but he kept everything intact. Santi in a real tight battle with X-Max here as he makes his way through Sector 2. This is the higher speed corners, but there's so few opportunities for overtakes in the second sector. The really good opportunities are going into the Audi S and through the very first sector, where if you can get sideways, you can start trading the inside line from each other and sometimes get those advantages. Just ahead, Balzac is fending off Taylor Funk. Taylor Funk is trying to take a line on the left. Balzac is considerately leaving him a little bit of space. They get very close, and Taylor Funk backs out of the move. He's not going to make it happen today. But further up ahead, we've got Kenny right behind Fiji. Raro still holding on. His fingers just gripping 6th position and not wanting to let go. But Fiji is going to say, that's enough. I'm up the inside. What are you going to do, Raro? Well, Raro says, well, maybe I'll just hold my line here. You have to leave me a car's width, don't you? But Fiji is holding into here. Kenny coming around the outside as they come up into Hugenholtz. A little bit of a lockup. Kenny has to be careful, abandons his line just a little bit there, and Fiji has retaken 6th position from Rarocopter.
What a battle this has been. This has been an absolute treat to watch.
Absolutely. You know, it's always frustrating to be out of a race, but at the very least, you're getting a nice show here. It seems like the battle just behind is broken up.
Yeah, it has a little bit, and I'd be interested to see if somebody like Kenny, who's very obviously getting held up by a couple people, might decide to pit maybe a lap or 2 earlier. So we should definitely be watching if any of the front runners come in, and if they don't, potentially watching to see if Kenny comes in here.
And, well, speaking of front runners, I think we do owe it to them to take a little bit of a look here. Flex has been holding a gap just outside of DRS range from RFX Rafa for the entirety of the race. Rafa is holding 2nd, but he's keeping Flex within a spitting distance. Sheer Insanity is holding on to P3, and then it's just a little ways back to Luke Brax and Camboard. They're still fighting. They're on 14 lap old soft. Oh, hello! We've got a little move here as Kenny is trying to make a move on Raro. He's forced to back out of it, and then coming into Hugenholtz, he's taking a wide line. There's not an easy way around Raro here as that battle continues. And you know what? That's the reason that we haven't been able to look at these other guys. So let's just say their names, Camborne and Fiji. Those guys, they are also up there. But we can't look away from this fight. Meanwhile, all of this battling is allowing X-Max and Santi to actually start pulling their way on towards the back of this group. So,
yeah, this group of 3 is about to be a group of 6, I think.
Yeah, boy. All right. Onto the back straight, and here's one of those opportunities for overtaking. Oh, this is a good run, but critically, Raro has DRS, so there's not going to be any space for a lunge from Kenny LaFleur as he makes his way through the Audi S-Club. Only 2 corners to go on this lap. The leaders are in Sector 1 right now, this chasing group just making their way through the end of Sector 3 as they come up. DRS flaps are open once again, but Raro keeps on holding it. None of these guys are able to escape DRS range. Kenny making a lunge. He's going to try and carry it around the outside of Tarzan. And now they make their way side by side. He's right laterally there. He's got a little bit of a gap. And he is through Kenny LaFleur. But there's also yellow because I think we've just lost Santi. And that is going to really split up that group that we thought we were about to catch up here. And suddenly, it's a group of 3 again.
Yeah, I think that in that last group there might have been some touching going on because X-Max actually pitted off the mediums and had to get a new wing replaced. So that dropped him way back. And actually to the point that Nate is almost caught up with him.
Oh, Raro!
Oh, Raro, no!
That's the front
and that's
wing.
a broken front wing, yeah.
That's a broken front wing, but it's not a terrible timing for him. It's not a terrible timing. We have the
he
rule.
had to
Raro
pit.
makes 1 mistake a race. That's his rule.
Yeah.
He gets to make his 1 mistake. Now he's done his 1 mistake, and it wasn't that costly. It'll cost him maybe 5 to 10 seconds tops. And he's going to go in, he's going to pit right now, and he's going to take this next set of tires all the way to the finish. We've got some pit stops further up ahead, by the way. We've got Luke Braxton pits, Sheer Insanity making his way out right now, and Sheer and Luke are the first 2 to pit. That's going to be a little bit of a move from New Buncher as Kenny LaFleur makes his way through. Look at that, Kenny on 16 lap old softs is able to make a move on Fiji, who's been such a beast fighting offense, defense. He doesn't care, he'll take it. Sheer Insanity is now going to come up on the back of this group, and he's got Taylor Funk right behind him. So you got a couple of hits going on there. Raro comes out just behind Santi. So he is kind of still in the group that he was fighting with earlier, but he's dropped back a little bit just as Santi did.
Actually, very interesting. He comes out behind Nate, but he comes out on the hard tire. Well,
that is a thing I often find. Raro is partial to conservative tire strategies. He probably could have gotten away with the medium. In fact, he certainly could have. But I think he's going to want to go for something where he can play it safe. Flex and Rafa into the pits. Let's see what happens here. Mediums for Rafa, mediums for Flex. It's the exact same strategy as Camboard makes his way along. And Cam is going to seize the lead of the race, but of course he is not yet pitted for a fresh set of tires. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2 as I see X-Max is going slowly. Wait, no, that's not X-Max. Pardon me. Who is that?
You're going to get dumped.
Yeah, well, whoever it was, they have stopped running quite so slowly now, but we need to have a little look at Sheer, Taylor, and Balzic. Oh! Taylor Funk out of the race. That's going to be a safety car.
That saves Fiji because Fiji has front wing damage.
Oh boy, whoa, what a moment in the race. This is Camborne is going to get a safety car pit stop. Flex, Rafa, Sheer, Luke, nothing of the sort. So this is going to be a huge opportunity for a lot of these drivers. Also, let me say 2 words. Kenny LaFleur. Yes, look at that. 17 laps on the softs. And then this man is going to go and put on mediums and be fighty to the very end. Also, Nameless Nate able to take a pit stop at this moment. He is holding position against T Goldie and Red Baron. Points are certainly still on offer for him. Raro, who is in this front battle for quite a while, now finds himself in 12th position. Nameless Nate just comes by the safety car, but it is going to wave him through. So, Camborne is pitting. Here comes Kenny LaFleur, also into the pits. And then Balzac. Well, what's the move for Balzac? He's halfway through the race. He started on the mediums. What's he going to do? I think he has to pit. Yeah, there's not going to be a better opportunity. He'll have to do either medium hard or maybe a very aggressive medium to soft. I'm curious to see what happens here.
It'd be interesting to see how close somebody like Raro can get to this group. He has a chance for some free spots. He's going to get them, I think.
All right. Well, critically, Fiji is a... Oh, no, that's X-Max, pardon me.
Oh, X-Max and Raro's actually going to pit.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, deciding that the hards are not the play. Honestly,
Yep.
not a terrible decision. It's going to
Yeah,
cost him 3
he's-
positions.
It might not even. It'll cost him just one.
Ah, yes. Yeah, you're right. They hadn't collected yet.
Yep.
So yeah, that was a smart play from Rara. Just recognizing,
and-
oh shoot, I'm on the wrong tire.
Get Dunk's gonna be the only car on the hard tire, so
Well,
that'll
perhaps
be
yes.
interesting. He could go distance. Some of these medium runners, they probably can. Actually, yeah, they can.
So looking at how that turned out for this group, you can see that Camborn got a pit stop, but really all it did is brought him closer to the leaders because he didn't have a close enough position that he was able to really capitalize on the free pit stop that his opponents didn't get. So he's still right there with blue frags. Kenny LaFleur has been able to pull right onto the back of this leading group because of this. And then we've got X-Max, who's doing very nicely. Balzac and P8 and Santi P9. They're both going to be on an interesting situation here because Balzac and X-Max both going to be trying to run softs to the end.
Anybody who is on softs right now, I don't believe they're going to be able to go to the end.
Well, we did see that Kenny did 17 laps on his softs, and he was really...
Yeah, and that was with 3 or 4 safety car laps.
Do you suspect that we're not going to have another safety car?
Oh, we probably will, but, you know, the game had suggested 11 laps was the fall off. For
Well,
the,
a lot also depends on how the drivers take
yes,
that.
sure. I tend to run very average with tires, so usually I go with the average. I'm not very conservative, but I'm also not very aggressive.
And myself, I tend to be pretty light on the tires. I'm a bit of a gentle braker. I'm a bit gentle on acceleration. Costs me in terms of pace, but it definitely allows me to stretch the tires out. So we've got everyone gathered up except Red Baron, but Red Baron is half a lap off right now, so I think we're going to get one more lap under the safety car so that we can get the full grid gathered back together. So in spite of everything that's happened, we've actually only lost 3 cars, 2 of which were gone about 200 meters from the start.
Yeah,
One of
remind
whom
me.
is co-commentating with me right now.
Yeah, I'm upset because this battle between Fiji, Raro, Kenny LaFleur, that had my name written all over it, and I would have loved to have been a part of it. But we're here, we're commentating, we're not gonna get a restart this lap.
No, but it's coming soon. You can see that that Red Baron's been able to close about 50 seconds on the rest of the pack here, and he's going to be gathering up with everyone else just in a moment as he comes through Harry Lewandale.
Yeah, it'll be
C.
X-Max is the soft runner I think to watch because he's on older softs than everybody else by about 2 or 3 laps.
He's certainly going to be a bellwether for the soft tires because when things start to go badly for him, it presages bad things for Balzac, Fiji, and Nameless Nate.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to watch his times towards the end of the race if he is going to try to carry these to the end. And we say that, and I'm sure there will possibly be another safety car, especially with the grouping that we've seen. We've seen a lot of groups of 3, groups of 4, groups of 5, all very close together, DRS trained.
And it's so hard. It's so very hard to make overtakes last here.
Yes. Yeah, if we walked away from this race with only 3 DNFs...
Fiji's doing the thing I told him not to do. He's revving his engine really high under the safety car. That's how you kick out your back, man. Don't do it. Don't do it, Fiji. Safety car is in this lap. It's starting to pull away, and now it is up to Flex. Is he going to get the drop on Rafa again? So he is taking a nice, cautious approach, just warming up the tires, playing it safe. Small gaps forming in a few positions here, but we have 2 corners until the start. He's going to kick the gas right around Ari Lundijk, just a little ways past that DRS detection zone on the map. All right, here we go. They're on the banking. You're going slow, so you can feel it. And there we go. There's the power going down for Flex. Rafa takes pursuit. And here we go. It is Flex, Rafa, Sheer Insanity, Luke Brax, Camborn, Kenny LaFleur, X-Max. Did we lose anyone there? We had a couple little moves, but Rafa holds on to second place. Sheer Insanity, but further back, we've got a little bit of a fight there, as Nameless Nate is through on Raro. Get dunked right behind Copter himself, but things are very, very tight as we make our way through this corner. We've got Fiji up on the inside of Santi, but he has to back out of that. The move is not happening. Once again, Flex absolutely rocket ship.
Yeah, just absolutely destroyed the restart. I don't know that everybody else got a clean restart. He got a very clean restart.
I realize I used rocket ship as an adjective.
Yeah, yeah. He is 2 seconds clear of Rafa already. That is his restarts are probably the best I've ever seen.
It's incredible.
He's really, really good.
Earlier in the season, I kind of coined the term just flexing on his opponents, but that is absolutely what he's doing right now. He's not under any threat right now, beyond from himself.
Yeah, honestly, that 2 second gap will probably get bigger with the next couple of laps, strictly due to the fact that right behind him is a train, and they're going to be fighting.
Oh, absolutely, because we've got X-Max right on the back of Kenny LaFleur as Red Baron makes a move on T Goldie. And now a little bit of side-by-side as T Goldie tries to take a tight line out of Tarzan, but it is not going to happen. And once again, this train is starting to form, and this time, if I was in Fiji's position, I'd be like, how did I end up here? I'm supposed to be a couple positions higher. I was ahead of this. Ah, come on, come on. What is this, guys? And he's going to be just a little bit feeling that he should be higher up, and that is going to mean some sparks, as we've got a bit of a battle here. Nate trying to take his position. Sorry, he's already taken the position, but Raro is trying to take it back from Nameless Nate, as Raro tries to take a bit of a line around that side, but right now Nate has the absolute tire advantage, and this is the moment where he's going to be hardest to pass. But critically for Raro, this is the time where he needs to be making up. Ooh, that was close. Ooh. As he takes a tight line through the Audi S. And he is following close there. Right now, Santi's right behind Balzac. Balzac is actually losing touch a little bit with X-Max. He's lost DRS, and that means that the clumping is going to begin. Also, this time, things are turning
up the inside of Tarzan. Oh, it's close. He's thinking about. Oh man, this battle between Nate and Rara is actually really, really good.
Yeah, I think that's the one to watch.
I said Flex was going to pull away, and he hasn't. Rafa's setting the fastest lap on that last lap.
It's what happened last time. It almost makes you wonder if Flex is perhaps just managing.
Yeah. Yeah, and with a second and a half gap, I probably would be managing.
Yeah, if Rafa gets close, just do that thing. Hey, do the thing. Well, this time, we're not getting the lead 3 escaping. This time it's just the lead 2 escaping because Sheer Insanity is not pulling away from Luke Brax, and Cam is just outside of DRS range from Luke. But critically, he's lost DRS this lap, which is going to be just music to the ears of Kenny LaFleur. He's got the pass coming. I can see it up the inside. There he is. There's not even anything for Cam to do there. Kenny has seized the position. There's a yellow flag out in sector as we have lost T Goldie. T Goldie out of the race, and then there were 14. Is there going to be another safety car? It's just a yellow flag in sector 3, but they might be thinking, oh, this is a recoverable vehicle. But it's right at the pit entrance. Yeah, it looks like there will not be a safety car for this, as T Goldie's vehicle is cleared out of the way, and the race continues. So right now, this little duel for third position has a good little group of 5 racers in it, and X-Max is right all over Camborn. Oh, there we go, Fiji and Balzac. Balzac is through on Fiji, but Fiji is going to want to take that back, and Nameless Nate is actually right up on the back of Fiji now. So Fiji Doma could find himself a little bit swamped here. But yeah, Fiji is seemingly just not finding the pace on the softs relative to the pace he was finding on the mediums, which is interesting. X-Max is spun, and that's a reset, which is going to be a penalty for him. Well, X-Max spins, and Santi is up, and now X-Max has dropped into the clutches of this back group, and now there's only 4 in that chase group around third. So Fiji is ahead of Nameless Nate for the moment, but he would be thinking his fight is further ahead, but now he's working to fend off a charging Nameless Nate, and right behind him a Rawer Copter, who's going to be a huge threat late in the race. Because Raro, what does he have in front of him? 4 drivers who have tires that will be crying at the end of the race.
Yeah, I think Raro is actually in a better spot than he probably feels right now. It's hard as a driver to sit there and watch the laps tick down and
Raro
tick
just
down.
let Red Baron through. That was...
Does he have damage?
Yeah, he has damage. He has damage.
Yes, he has a broken.
Okay,
right
well,
endpoint.
let's unsay everything we just said about Raro and say it about Red Baron. Because Red Baron, he's taking the tight line for Ari Lewandijk.
Yep, and Nate got through on Fiji, but Fiji's going to come back.
He's going to get swamped by everyone. Nameless Nate down 1 position. Is he going to go down 2? He's going to keep on fighting it around the outside.
And it was pretty critical for him to stay in because Red was going to eat him up if he didn't. So that was tight driving. Oh my goodness.
I think Red Baron might have it. There he is. He's not able to hold it for Hunsuru.
Oh, wow.
And with that, he's going to be tilted just a little bit from that, but you know what? Keep calm. There's still mini lap.
I wonder if he has damage. It doesn't look like he does.
So I'd like to draw our attention now to 3 through 5. This is a battle for podium positions right now. There are no penalties active right now. Kenny had a penalty earlier. He served it. It's done.
Yeah.
We got a bit of a fight here. Nameless Nate up on the inside of Fiji. Fiji around the outside now. Red Baron through on that. And once again, Nameless Nate comes out of the shuffle in the back of this group, but you can't say it's for lack of trying. As he comes out through Ari Lewandijk, and now he's going to try and get the move on Fiji, but he doesn't have the best launch, and with everyone here having the DRS, there's not going to be an overtake opportunity, although Fiji nonetheless goes for a lunge, but that's going to slow him down a lot, and Nameless Nate almost runs into his rear from that. But we're going to pop back up to this leading group here, not leading, 3rd place, because Sheer just has Luke Braxton nipping at his heels, looking for any opportunity, any small mistake. Flex is not holding that big of lead over Rafa for first either.
It has to be a management thing. It has to be because his launch was so clean to lose an entire second to the guy behind you in only a matter of laps.
Nate and Fiji again.
Wow.
And Nameless Nate gets through on Fiji Doma. It looked like there almost might have been a bit of contact. I certainly hope that the cars are all intact. Oh, Fiji's front wing. And this is where the race falls apart for Fiji. It's late and he has to either run with a crippled vehicle or do a late pit stop for another set of fresh softs. What's it going to be, Fiji? What's it going to be?
If I were him, I would pit.
I'd pit. Well, no, he's going to stick out and maybe hope something can happen from 12th here, but I am not in that position.
A couple of these soft runners are going to be struggling at the end.
Well, none more than X-Max, but we were talking about X-Max as the bellwether, but really maybe the guy we need to look at now is Balzac as possibly the more representative person. We've got a Get Dunked. That's a Get Dunked who spun up, and that allows Raro through as Raro is cruising through. On 1 lap old mediums, very curious that he didn't put on softs. Again, Raro, very, very partial to these cautious tire strategies. Possibly overly cautious.
He might not have a set.
Possible, but even using a scrub set of 2 lap old tires, I'd still definitely go for scrub softs.
Yeah, but he might not even have those because I think the game sometimes doesn't always give you the qualifying tires.
We got a little bit of a move here from Luke Brax on the outside of sheer insanity. Well, I could describe exactly what's going on there, but it's nuts. Here we go. Sheer holding on to it. Luke trying to make something happen as he now goes around through Hugenholtz. Noob Puncher right behind, ready to pick up anything that gets dropped, but both of these guys are juggling their positions and not letting anything touch the ground as Sheer Insanity holds on to what is for the moment a podium position. Luke Brax wants to take that away from him. Luke is just a couple of positions away from pushing himself into third in the championship right now, and Camborne is only P7 right now. Fiji is deciding after a full lap on that broken front wing that he's not going to be able to do anything with it. So he is pitting late, going to put on some fresh tires. He puts on medium, so yeah, maybe they're just straight out of soft. Or maybe he decided he liked the mediums more, which, looking at how he raced against guys on softs, might be the case. This is a very odd circuit. I kind of feel that here the benefit, there's so much to sort of fine control and less about simply the tires doing their work. So
yeah,
I think
when I was on my final qualifying lap, I actually went on mediums and my tire, my delta, right on the inside.
Pushed here. He's getting pushed here. And Kenny LaFleur up into P4. Noobs punched. Although, honestly, this fight is not amongst neophytes to this league.
I think the medium tire is quick here. I think it's an okay choice, honestly.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those situations where your first instinct might not be the right one. So Luke Brax has been dropped down position as we have lost Santi. He comes back onto the track and drops down to 9th, but there's a little bit of a gap back to Red Baron. Sheer Insanity continuing to lead, but now he's got Kenny LaFleur, who's been on a burn from the stern here. He qualified very far down on the grid, not quite last, but very close to the back row. And from there, he's been able to just haul his way up towards the very front end of this race. And now here he is. He's got fresher tires than everyone around him because of a little bit of good luck from the safety car. And do you think that 2-lap difference might be the critical difference maker for him?
I think it could be. I mean, he's going to get DRS here, and he's probably going to make a pass, but I don't know. He's going to have to play defense, too.
Nate in the wall. Well, fortunately, it's right by the pits, so Nate right into the repair shop.
Oh, man. It's been a bad day for Alpha. It's been a bad couple weeks for Alpha.
Well, it's a good day for the fans right now because we've got to battle 3rd through 6th in one snaky chain right here.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that this DRS train is possibly gonna put some pressure on Sheer this lap. But knowing Kenny too, he's not gonna make the move until he absolutely needs to.
Well, hey, XMAX just lets Luke through. I think that's no, sorry. That was no. Jeez, what was that?
Yeah. I don't know.
That looked very deliberate.
They are running the same team right now, so X probably.
Kenny, a little bit of contact with Sheer. Critically keeps his front wing intact as they come through Hugenholtz.
Kenny be a little bit more aggressive there, but I think he's going to sit and wait for his chance. He knows there's only 3 laps left, so he's not going to push it too hard. He knows that if he can't get clear of Sheer, he's going to be the one leading this train, and he's possibly going to get eaten up if he is. So he's probably going to wait until close to the end of the race to make his move, I would think.
Oh, it's so tricky through the Masterboft in the earlier corner there, though I think that one was run out, where you just have the back of the car just sliding out under power. So this is it. This is going to be one of the key moments of the race here. We've got a big group that is gathered here. Kenny is as close as he could be as they come through our Lundijk Bocht. And what kind of line can he get out through here? into the start-finish straight. There's DRS for him. There's DRS for X-Max. There's DRS for Luke. And look at this. Camborne has joined the party. There we go. He's deep. He's deep. I looked away for a split second, and Kenny pushes around the outside. He takes the deep line, and that is able to get him through on sheer insanity. Kenny Lafleur, now we're going to see if he can use this whole section, since, again, through the Hunsrück, there's not going to be much of an opportunity for anyone to get through here, unless you throw a really, really gutsy move into Chevla, but that's not going to happen. So here we go, Sector 2.
Critically, Kenny has a ton of ERS to use to defend. He has almost 50% battery. Sheer is down to 10%, and X-Max and Luke aren't doing much better. So it might take a lap or two for anybody to kind of get at Kenny here, I would think.
Well, right now Kenny's got 6/10, 7/10, but the DRS detection site is right up ahead. So he's not able to clear to his second. 8/10 back for sheer insanity, but he's going to get DRS. But look at this. We've got X-Max, who's right on the inside of him. He pushes up really tight. He takes the line, and he's going to have the inside line into Tarzan as X-Max pushes sheer insanity, and he is down 2 positions in 2 laps. The podium sliding away from him in the dying laps of this race. Camborne, meanwhile, big championship concerns here. Camborne is the runner-up in the championship. He is ahead of Kenny Lafleur right now, and while Kenny can't necessarily take his position from him this race, Cam is going to be conscious of his position in the championship here and how close he is to some big points. 7th is not the story of where he is right now, because right at the lead of this group is Kenny Lafleur, who's going to be getting a boatload of points compared to him. And then look, there's a huge gulf back to Balzac in 8th place. The leaders here, we've had a bunch of our top racers, plus X-Max. I'm not sure if X-Max is someone racing on a different name or if this is our new guy, but he's definitely putting in a show right now.
He is the new guy, yes.
He is the new guy. Ooh, a little bit of a kick for Luke Brax there, but he's able to hold it in place as they make their way around Kummelbocht. And now the power is down, the acceleration as they make their way along, but look at this, they're all spread out. It's just a snake making its way along, but no one is close enough to make a move on any of their rivals. Meanwhile, Rafa continuing to pursue Flex. He's chasing, but there's not a great deal that he can do. As in the dying lap of this race, we have X-Max trying to chase down New Puncher. He's a 19-lap-old soft. We're saying he's the bellwether. Well, ring that bell, because he is not having any problems with his tires at this point. He is challenging for a potential podium in his first race here. Maybe he could even try and push a mistake out of Kenny Lafleur. There's not many opportunities left. There's going to be 1, maybe 2 chances for a move here. Is there anything left in these softs, or is he just going to have to settle for what would nonetheless be a very nice 12 points for 4th position here? He comes into the Audi S, and no one is quite close enough to make the move here. We come around. Our race leader, Flex, makes his way through, and he takes the checkered flag. It's Flex, and then Rafa. Rafa throws himself into a wall in celebration. New Puncher, which is to say Kenny Lafleur, taking 3rd position from way down on the grid. X-Max, Sheer Insanity, Luke Brax, and Camborne all in close pursuit. And then we go back. Balzac is leading his teammate. Santi has done well for Brother John in his absence. Unfortunate we couldn't have you here, Bro Joe. And here we have it. Balzac leads Santi. Oh, is he going to take him to the line? He does! Santi takes his teammate Balzac at the line by sheer thousandths of a second. Red Baron, after everything that happened, takes 10th with the final point. Raro crosses the finish line in P11, smashes his wing against the wall. That's going to get Mr. Stroll upset and charging you for that. Get Dunked makes his way through P12. Fiji, again, one of those races. He was so racy, had so much going on. His Williams was really stirring things up, but then the middle stint just didn't work for him. And he found himself getting caught up, and look at that. The battle that was happening was Fiji and Nameless, and they end up coming across the finish line together.
Well,
that's our race. XMAX driver of the day. I think I gotta agree with that. It's either him or Kenny, but you know, this Kenny kind of doing the Kenny thing of just making up a bunch of positions. Here we have it. Flexing once again on FRL. And he extends his championship lead. Alright, well, that was a fine race. That was an exciting race. We had action throughout. We had battles up and down the field. Feeling like I'm retreading myself because we have some pretty good quality racing here in FRL. But that was a good show. Prestige, any thoughts or closing words?
Yeah, it was. Actually, we didn't lose as many drivers as I thought we might tonight. It was a much cleaner race and more finishes than what we had last week. So,
interestingly, Rafa snatched the fastest lap.
Yes, he did. Huh.
Well,
but anyway, yep.
This has been Chaos with Prestige for Formula Racing League. We're very glad for all of you who could join us, and shout out to everyone who's able to catch the VOD afterwards. But we're saying now, thank you very much. This has been FRL. We run our races on Monday nights, and we run our community nights on Thursday. This has been Netherlands. Next time up, it's going to be Italy, Russia, and Singapore. And then, well, we've got, let's see, we've got 8 races left this season, and there's still plenty of time to join in. Although spaces are getting a little bit limited, but we've been having some really nice full grids, and it's been a lot of fun. So, Prestige, sorry for your bad luck this race, but I'm really glad that you could keep the other seat warm for me in the commentary booth.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
You too. This has been Chaos and Prestige for Formula Racing League, signing off.